Hi everyone, I'm coming to you outside today because I thought it would be, well, first of all, it's very necessary for me to get outside because I've been inside all morning stirring in my ego, so I thought, yeah, I need to go outside. And nature just helps me kind of connect to positive messages that I can stream through. There's a butterfly flying by me right now, which is just beautiful. I don't know if you can see that in the back, probably not. Anyways, I hope it's not too noisy for you, and I hope that everything that's meant to come through will come through and help you in some way. So today, I don't really have anything planned. I was just kind of starting to break through something today. And the past, I think, week or so has been really, really intense for me, and I've kind of had to stand up for myself and try to figure out what I want. And it's so easy to think that you know what you want, but you actually don't. And the thing that I really want to dive into today is we live our lives and sometimes we repeat patterns, and we repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and we're creatures of habit, right? As humans, it's something that people say all the time, and it's so very true. And I think I'm kind of catching myself now repeating patterns, and the first thing that I want to do as a human being is essentially slap myself. Not physically, but I just get really annoyed with myself and I get harsh with myself, and it is just out of the question for me to be gentle with myself when I catch myself in the same situation over and over again. And I think a lot of us do that, and so today I want to kind of shine some light on that. And this is stuff that I'm learning and I'm going through, and if I feel that it can help someone else going through the same thing, then I'm absolutely going to share it. Because as much as I just want to put out positive videos when I'm doing well, you know, it's so important for me to stay genuine and to be who I am and to express what I'm going through, because I know that that can help someone else out there. Because I know that I'm not the only one who acts like me. And sometimes I feel very isolated, and I feel very alone, and I feel like I'm the only one doing something or repeating this pattern, but I know that we live in a huge world and I'm not the only one that is doing this same kind of constant thing over and over again. And so I wrote out earlier some silly beliefs that were in my head and that have been with me for over 20 years. And I feel like it's very difficult sometimes to become conscious of what it is that makes us repeat these same patterns. We attract the same shit over and over again with different people and with different situations, but sometimes we find ourselves in the same situation and we're thinking, yeah, first of all, we just blame ourselves. And the second thing we do is we ask why. Why is this happening to me? Why me? We get into this victim consciousness, this victim state. My suggestion for this is that we try to make it simple, because we get so confused and we attract different situations and all of this confusion and mucky, we muster up all this stuff. And it becomes really hard to figure out why we're repeating the same thing over and over again. So essentially, obviously, we're doing this to learn. There's a lesson that needs to be learned there. And it's not about getting angry at yourself for attracting the same stuff. If you keep attracting the same thing, there's a reason for it, and there's something that needs to be learned. And don't get mad at yourself for not being able to learn it at a faster pace, because, you know, it happens, and it happens at a different pace for everyone, and you learn the lessons you need to learn at the right time for you. And you can't compare your life to someone else's life and what they're learning, because you're on your own journey. So anyways, my suggestion for this is that you make a small equation and you try to condense it and make it as simple as possible. So my example is what I did this morning. As I was saying, I wrote down what my equation is, because you can't focus on solving the problem when you don't know what the equation is. And think about that for a minute. That kind of came in my head. That was a message that kind of hit me. And I was like, wow, that's really profound. That's really profound. You can't solve the equation if you don't know what the equation is. And so trying to figure out what the equation is, don't even try to figure it out. Don't even try to, think about it too much. This is something that's going to just come and click for you very, very quickly, like it did for me. When I just sat there and I said, okay, what is the equation? What is this simple equation? So for me, and these are going to sound silly, and don't limit yourself. Let yourself write this out, no matter how stupid or silly or ridiculous it sounds, because it's going to be ridiculous, because these are really deeply rooted belief systems that no longer serve you. And they're gonna sound crazy and they're gonna sound silly, but let yourself write them out anyway. So mine were basically, if I don't have friends, that means that equals that I'm not worthy. If I don't have a long-term healthy relationship, that equals that I'm not deserving or not worthy. All of this is so silly, but these have been my belief systems in this lifetime. And I think, what was the other one? It was along the same lines. Basically that I'm not doing enough, or I'm not giving out enough. And that results in me trying to give out and give out and give out way too much. But it never gets solved because I never end up taking care of me and giving energy to myself, because I'm too busy giving out energy trying to feel worthy from other people, which is something that I really struggle with, because my whole life, I'm chasing this thing and feeling that if I have a long-term healthy relationship, that means I'm a worthy person, and that as a soul that I'm worthy. And that is just completely bogus, but that's the truth. Like, that has been what I have brought into this life to learn and to master and to kind of clear out of the way. And a lot of things that we feel, and these belief systems that are so deeply rooted, you can't get rid of them overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. It all starts with acknowledging it, and this is something that you have to practice day in and day out every single day. And you're going to have days where you're like, fuck, I didn't do very well with my practice today. But that's okay, that's what this life is about. As I've said before, we choose this, and this is the other huge message that I want to get out there today, is this is what we choose. I chose this for myself before I came into this life. I said, okay, in this life I need to work on my self-worth, and, for 20 odd years I'm going to be feeling that I'm not worthy, and then I'm never going to be able to have a relationship, but I'm going to look around and compare myself and all these people, and they have relationships, and I'm going to think that they're worthy and I'm not, and why can this person have a relationship and I can't, and all this bull, because that's what it is, it's BS. But that's what I planned for myself. This is my life, and this is what I'm meant to go through, and I'm sure there's other people that are meant to be doing this as well. And not everyone is in this life right now to learn self-worth, and that's okay, but for me, this is something that is really, really key for me in my spiritual growth and my growth as a person, as, my being, my soul in this life needs this. As hard as it is, and as frustrated as I can get with myself for feeling unworthy, because my soul knows that I'm worthy, but my ego sometimes is just like, never feels good enough, and never feels like I'm doing enough, never feels worthy, never feels like I'm ever going to be able to maintain a healthy long-term relationship, and I've never been able to manifest it, and that's okay. This is something that I chose for myself. My soul chose this before I came into creation in this life, and so this time around, that's what I chose for myself. So keep that in mind when you catch yourself repeating patterns and feeling crappy that you can't attract new stuff, because as much as, like, it's so important to focus on your thoughts and the law of attraction, we attract by energy, and we attract by unconscious things as well, because yes, it's so great to come up with positive affirmations and to focus on things consciously, but a lot of these things that are coming up for me right now are totally unconscious. Like, I was not conscious of that simple equation that, well, if I don't have many close friends, that equals that I'm not worthy. If I don't have this relationship in my life that I want, then I'm not worthy. And that sounds so silly, because that is the unconscious belief system that is happening over and over again, and it never goes away, because I've never really delved into it completely. I've probably covered it up with affirmations and positive thoughts, but I've still not been able to attract the things that I fully want, because this is something that's happening at a deeper level within me that I haven't been conscious of. So it's about just becoming conscious of it, not blaming yourself for it, allowing yourself to go through whatever you need to go through, because this is what you chose. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever difficulties you have gone through in this life, you have chose that because your soul needs that, and it's really tough to go through certain things, and I've said this before, especially with sicknesses. People have a really hard time with grasping that when we have really young kids dying of cancer and stuff like that, but we choose our life. Our soul knows what we need to experience in this life, and I truly believe that you come here and you fulfill your purpose, and once that's done, then you go and return back to, whatever you want to refer to, like source or spirit or, heaven, whatever you want to refer that to. But anyways, the way the law of attraction works is through energy. It's through things, it's through changing the subconscious and the unconscious. It's not just about focusing and sweeping things under the rug, and I think a lot of people mistake it for that. I think a lot of people think, well, I can get away with not dealing with my problems, I'll just throw some positivity on top of everything and it'll be, a piece of cake, just add some icing, sugar, just add some icing and add some sugar on top of the cake and we'll be fine. But the thing is, these are belief systems, we all have belief systems that don't really serve us after a while. And the cake starts to crumble, basically. And if you have icing on the top, and your bottom root of the, your belief systems are just kind of falling apart and eating at you and deteriorating, the cake's going to fall apart, whether you have icing on the top or you don't. So there's no use trying to just sweep all your problems under the rug, cover it up with icing, make it look all pretty and fancy on the outside, when on the inside there's stuff that needs to be worked on, and that's basically what I'm saying today. So I'm going to do a really quick reading with the daily guidance from your angels oracle cards. If you have a problem dealing with the word angels or God or universe or source or spirit, you can just say whatever words feel right for you. These essentially are self-care cards, so if you think angels are a little out there for you, that's cool. For me they're not, but for you, if it's too out there for you to associate with angels or the word angel, then you can just lots of birds singing today. You can just call these self-care cards, because that's essentially what it is. It's not like, ooh, mystical things. This is diving into the subconscious and the messages that we all need, that you need, that can just help you. It's all here to help you on your self-growth process. It's not some woo weird thing. It's really not that weird. So the first message for everyone today is shower of abundance. To heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you allow. So this is kind of about finances, but I really don't think it's just about financial situation. I think this is about accepting and receiving abundance, because that's kind of the message that seems to be happening lately, is you need to be able to give and receive. And it's not about giving and giving and feeling not worthy. This is about allowing yourself to feel the abundance that is always around us. We're always provided for by the universe. We're always being showered with abundance, and it's just your perception that changes. And this is a good reminder that you are always being showered with this love, this universal love. It's unconditional. There's nothing you can say or do. There's no mistakes you can make that would stop the universe from showering you with love and abundance. They are always, 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 always loving you no matter what. And no matter what you did in the past, the universe always supports you and is always giving to you. This is ask. Okay. So ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. This is really important, and I think this has also been coming up in a few other people's readings. I believe in Doreen Virtue's weekly readings. Over the past little while, this has been coming up quite a bit. This is pertaining to the angels, the universe, whoever you want to refer to, whatever you want to refer to. The label doesn't matter. But essentially, if you want to be able to break out of these habits, if you want to be able to change these unconscious and subconscious ways of being that aren't serving you anymore, you need to ask, because we have free will, and the universe is always trying to help us. Our angels are always trying to help us and support us, but they can't intervene unless it's like a life or death situation where, if you're not meant to die, like they're going to intervene and make sure that you don't die kind of deal. But in terms of working on breaking these habits and breaking these fears and breaking these just old belief systems, you need to ask, because that's the only way they can intervene, is if you ask for their assistance. So you make sure that you call on them when you feel the need, because you can't just sit here and be expecting something to happen when you're not asking, because they kind of need your permission. because, like I said, we do have free will, and they know that, and they respect that, and so you're free to do whatever you want and learn the way you feel you need to learn and all this stuff, but you need to ask so they have your permission, and let them know that they have your permission for a certain thing that you're working on. If you're trying to break out of these old habits and old belief systems that you see happening over and over again, if you have these patterns coming up over and over again and you don't know what to do and you're just exhausted and you're tired of it happening over and over again, make sure that you ask and you let the universe, the angels, whoever you want to refer to, let them know that they have permission to help you, and just ask for them to help you and they will come through. So make sure that you do the asking and you will be provided for and you will receive. And the last message for everyone today is perfect timing. Isn't that a pretty card? Beautiful. Now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate. As all of the ingredients are right for your success, everything and everyone is on your side supporting your positive outcome. So please keep that in mind. As I was saying, if you are getting fed up with having the same shit happening over and over and over again, you eventually will break out of it and you will call on the angels or call on the universe when the time is right for you. And we all have a different life path, we all have different timing for everything. We learn our lessons at different paces, and everything is always happening at the perfect divine timing. And for me, I've been dealing with a lot of the same patterns and belief systems for basically my whole life and this life. And that's something I need to remember as well, is this is happening at the perfect time for me to start kind of becoming aware of what these belief systems are and letting go of them and releasing them and practicing that on a regular basis. And please remember that everything's happening at the perfect time for you always. Remember that this is what you planned out for yourself. Your soul chose this long ago before you were born into this life. And you came into this life and said, I need to do this and this and this, and this is my focus for this life. This is going to be my purpose, and I need to, hit all of these key points and learn blah, 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 blah in this life. And you will get to the points that you need to get to, and you just need to trust in that. You will always be provided for. Just remember to ask, remember that you're always being showered with abundance, and please remember that everything always happens at the perfect divine time for you. So just trust in that. You're always going to be provided for. You always have that assistance available to you if you ask, and you're always learning what you need to be learning at this moment. You're going through the tough challenges that you need to be going through, but it's all happening at the perfect time, and you will break out of the old beliefs and the old habits when it's right for you to do so. So that is my message for you all today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please take a breath with me. And remember that it's all good, it's all happening at the perfect time. We're always surrounded. We have our angels with us, we have the universe with us, we're always supported. I just got chills. We always have that available to us, and then, as rough as it can feel, it's all good. It's all happening at the perfect time for us. So take care, guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.